Call the spaceship to Davenport, interface with a couch from space, and prepare for divanarchy. I can do the catchphrases in any order that I want because we're in space, which is international waters, even though we haven't discovered water on any other planet yet. That's how crazy it is. First in the chat room is Beta Virus. What's up, man? Oh, we were all in Wisconsin at the same time at one point in history. We'll get into all that. First, I want to get into this because we have our sponsor this week is so amazing. You're never going to believe it. Our sponsor this week is Stamps.com. I'm kidding. Our sponsor this week is Tiger Squawk Records. It's nonstop this summer. Sex, Death, Religion is back with some deep house goodness on Distant Images. Cyrene, 15-year best of. It's incredible. Virtual Terrorist, new single, Neural ACP. Watch for the coming full length. Corrupted Memories from Industrial is in pre-order now. So dope. Stop the Goths, new single from Science Fiction. Bitman, Standing in a City, single out. Just released another single today. Ghastly Invertebrate Damage Over Time. Also out, Super Sensation. That is Tiger Squawk Records. It's Tiger Squawk Records. Adadabandcamp.com. What is up to Tiffany? Hey, what's up? Welcome to Space Couch. So, time and space are one and curved and get distorted out here in the vastness of the cosmos, Dre. And so it all becomes distorted in my mind. But today we are going to go firmly back into a little bit of my past and the future at the same time, ironically, much like out here. This is the guy I've known for a while. I've always been such a fan of his work, and especially especially excited to have him on today because his new album is straight fire, ladies. And even though we can't, really combust things out here in the absence of gas in a vacuum, his album still manages to be fire. So, ladies and gentlemen, Control Shift. We are gonna go full Madison on this one today. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here he is. I screwed up. Without further ado, here he is. Jason of ENDIF. What is up? Yeah! Low tech. Oh, dude, that was awesome.
Guy there. So.
Oh, look at you. That is so ironic. Now tell me, what is the name of your new album?
It's Falling Into the Sky, actually.
Hey!
Yes. Are you getting feedback at all? I want to make sure I still have my sound up like an idiot. And
you sound good here. Let me okay. Turn you up.
Make sure.
A little bit in relation to me, because you're more important, and got a little bit like a tick of a. Does anyone know how to get rid of the eggplant wizard in Kid Icarus? You just gotta shoot him a bunch with a bunch of arrows.
Just shoot him a bunch, yeah. That's what I'll do.
Nice. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah. So I got a little bit of a buzz. Let me know if anybody else has one. But no, you sound great, man. Speaking of sounding great, Falling Into the Sky is out now. Oh man, give us like a flyby on this album. Pardon the pun. Give me like an overall kind of gestalt on the unification, or not. Don't let me put words in your mouth. Any unifying principles?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, as you probably may know, the last thing I put out was Carbon in 2008, and I haven't been dead since. So I've been working. And so I have basically I've taken 12 years to get off my ass and put together what is the work that I've done since, and actually somewhat prior. So because the oldest track on Falling Into the Sky is from 1999.
1999.
That's right.
Oh and my gosh.
City, and actually if you buy it, the liner notes have very detailed stuff.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mike Slansky did a really great job laying out said art, so definitely go and talk to him if you need some done. Yeah, so from 1999 to about 2016, I think, I took the 8 best tracks that I did that fit into that umbrella and formed them into a little compact
Oh,
singularity.
awesome.
And out we go.
Oh, wow. What's up to David Christensen of Square Wave Productions in the bringing out all the stars. So, 12 years. Is it? How does it feel to like finally put stuff out into the world you've had floating around since a previous century?
A little weird. Like
Yeah.
I'm I'd say I'm tired of all this stuff, but I'm actually not.
Mm.
But it's definitely like part of my background hum. Like, this is probably a terrible comparison, but kind of like, that Susie song you like that you've been listening to for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been listening to some of this stuff for about that long.
That's a great way to put it.
So
I love
it's
it.
the background hum for me, but it seems that people are enjoying it, and that makes me happy.
I would count myself among them. It is simultaneously, it's like an insidious chill out. Like it's like relaxing, but there's a guy in the room with a knife, and you don't know which one.
But we're all chilling. It's cool.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool. We're all good. All 3 of us, you, me, and the knife.
Yeah, right. Is it with a 12 year sort of on ramp to this album? Does it feel like, I'll say, emotionally different than Meta or Carbon? As a piece.
Like those, I made them. I found a label. I stuck them out into the world. Through, I guess, the normal paradigm of doing that sort of thing. But I know things got super weird since 2008, and they just keep getting weirder. And,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I almost postponed the release again because of the situation in my city. I live a mile away from Lake Street. Like the auto zone that got burned down is the one I got past tense. Used to get all my automotive parts from my Jeeps.
Get out!
I know exactly. Yeah, so like I could smell the fire. We were very, very close, but not in it.
We will. I know you're a Minneapolis guy, and I want to get into that. Let's do it a little bit now, as long as it came up organically. Like, wow, like spotlight on Minneapolis. I mean, it's always been a place I've loved because I'm, a ex-Milwaukee kid. But wow, how you doing?
It's been pretty weird. So I moved here on New Year's Eve, 2013, 2014. Been here ever since. The last, I hope, of my many, many cross-country moves, and it's just been awesome. I mean, it's been super transformative, and but the city is so amazing that I can't not leave no matter what happens, or I can't leave no matter what happens, because whenever a door closes or life mutates radically, something else happens that says, no, bro, stay here, it's cool, So yeah, I feel like I've done more weird growing and changing and leveling up and other alterations in the last 5-6 years than I did in the previous 20. So
wow. Well,
yeah.
I want to throw out something real quick. Tiffany in the chat room has corrected me correctly and said ex-Wauwatosa, Wisconsin is where it was where I grew up, and for a brief, wonderful few years.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was born in Milwaukee, but Milwaukee was across the street, like it's weird. But for a brief, wonderful couple of years, you, Control Shift in the chat room, Beta Virus in the chat room, Caustic, of course, we're all in this wonderful, weird industrial dot. What's that?
I said, wow, I'm amazed that I'm pleasantly high.
In the wonderful dot of industrial weirdness called Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
very.
Quite a. There it goes. Sorry, I'm trying to do 6 things at once because I'm an idiot. Here we go. Please continue.
Oh, no problem. I was just that was really great. Um, I I was a fan of you. We'd met at a Ladytron concert in
Whoa.
Minneapolis. Uh, I went up to you and asked you if you were Squid Boy because I knew you from LiveJournal.
Wow. Wow. I was actually wondering that earlier. How did I meet Brian?
Yeah, well, I mean,
But
I
that's
I
correct.
was an ENDIF fan because I knew you from, wait for it, the Third Wave Collective. Uh,
Uh,
that was, and we're jumping all over the place here, but we might do that because sometimes these things aren't linear. I'm in space, like deep, deep space, so it all kind of gets curved anyway. Um,
it's timey, kind of
Pretty
stuff.
much, yeah. We're doing that scene from either Interstellar or Event Horizon, where they push the pen through the paper. But the we're all yeah. It was you had, correct me if I'm wrong. Formerly started this thing called the Third Wave Collective, which
I was one of the people that started it, and then I wound up running it. Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty awesome for a time. I wrote a little paper on it once uh, for college, um,
Oh
and
my
it
God, that's great. I think you told me about that. Holy
yeah
shit.
provided a template for a lot of like what I'm doing now with Tiger Squawk and what you're doing now. Maybe we'll figure it out in a second when we get into the manual control stuff. The point of all this
Foreshadow.
is there's a lot to talk about. I'm so happy you were able to make this happen. I do want to focus on the fantastic newness that is falling into the sky. A very appropriate title name for a show from the cosmos. Um, shall we do a little video action?
Yeah, whip it out.
All right. We can play the video too. So this is
This is
correct
why.
me if I'm wrong. This is dick jokes. That's all anybody shows up for. Like, it's dick jokes, Jason, and 5 more dick jokes, and then Space Couch. Um, this is a little preview exclusive, yeah?
Yes, yes. No one's
Okay.
seen
I
this.
mean,
That's why
you may show
that's
this
great.
other places, but it has yet to be shown at this point. This is about a minute of the new video coming up from ENDIF One Trick Pony. This thing is insane. Check this out, you guys. And we are back live. That is One Trick Pony, the digital album of which you can get now at, is that endif.bandcamp.com?
Correct.
Perfect. Check that out. You will not be disappointed. When might we see the full video now that our taste buds have been tantalized?
Soon.
Very
Sometime
cool.
soon.
Very cool.
Next week, week after that, we'll see. Basically, I've been hanging on to it to like boost momentum if I
Hmm.
need to leave low Earth orbit. You know.
Yeah, I also.
Performance. Here's an interview. Here's another
Oh,
performance.
yeah.
And, oh shit! I'm out of stuff. Here's a video.
I hear there might be some activity going down there on terra firma in general too.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. The last several years, I've had a new partner in crime, Brooke Renee Calder. She's a producer and a songwriter and a vocalist. and my girlfriend and my roommate and part of and the other half of Manual Control Records. She used to work for Twin Tone, kind of a big indie label back in the day, and so she knows that side of things a lot better than I do. And so that's why we decided that between all of our past projects, all of our current projects, and any future projects, and anybody else's projects that we might decide that we want to do something with, we should really just get off our ass and start a label. And so we did.
Oh, these segues are just they're so smooth today. Like we got some.
I've been practicing for weeks.
Oh yeah, it feels like we got new stabilizers here on the couch. Just we got the janky engine parts thrown out, and we just got that ENDIF code. Oh man, like we fixed all our 4 next loops with an ENDIF here on the space couch.
Compiler, everything's different.
So, Manual Control. You, Brooke, and tell us a little bit like how. What's that?
Oh, yep, me and Brooke. Yep.
How's it work, and what might we expect?
So obviously, Falling to the Sky, the new ENDIF album, is the first release, out now, and then we're gonna do the Red Hour maxi single. We have a bunch of really amazing. And actually, I'm gonna switch to that real quick if this fucking thing will work with me. Let me just do that. Hang on.
Yeah, take your time, dude. We will do a little pre-show announcement here. Coming up next week, the Boundless out of Chicago.
Yes, I love them. Yeah, so we're gonna the next thing we're gonna release on Manual Control is the Red Hour.
Nice.
We've got a single and then like 6 remixes, and they're all radically different, and most of them are danceable, but not all of them. And one of them is completely left field. Jean-Marc Liederman remix is like startlingly good, completely anomalous. So,
very cool.
Yeah, we got Nature Wires, we got Stephen Olaf, we got Profi, we got Bad Rich. We got a lot of weird, cool, awesome remixes.
Looking forward to that. Look out for the Red Hour single coming out on Manual Control. So are you like, is this third wavy? Like, are you signing people, or how's it work?
We're doing it like an actual label now. We're signing.
Oh, nice.
And writing contracts, and we're gonna put out CDs. It's not gonna be like, cool, all you bros, let's all get together and put in $100 and make 500 CDs, and we each get an equal share, and yay, all of us. You know, it's still egalitarian. There's no I'm the label boss, and I want all your rights, and I'm a jerk. No, there's none of that. It's still, we're still very conservative with ethics and whatnot. But Mountain Dew.
Woohoo!
But yeah, so obviously we learn from our past projects and things like that. But it is an actual label. So.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Do you have any Manual Control on Facebook? Anything we should check out? Cool.
If you go to manualcontrol.net, that will take you to the Facebook page, because really, why do you actually need a website?
I hear you, dude. I so hear you. So yeah, that's really exciting. Check out Minneapolis's Manual Control.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on here over the years that I've been here. Part of the I can't leave, it's just too good kind of thing. But yeah, I hope that it's a beneficial part of the ecosystem here.
Yeah, it's great. Like, we just played with Absinthe of Faith, Sweat Boys, and Conform Co. at Red Sea. And that was
my buddy J Dodge would have been the sound for that.
Oh yeah, he was awesome. That was like, the coronavirus was like just starting up. Like, no one knew it would last 2 months, but even with like the threat of that, like, Minneapolis still came out in force. Like, that was just such a wonderful sounding show. So Minneapolis is where it's at. But speaking of all things online, you have been moving ENDIF into the virtual sphere. As able, it sounds like some things are getting moved around.
Bandwidth, insanity, space-time permitting. Yeah, so Been doing a lot of live and virtual performances with this new paradigm of you can't have shows, you have to
Hmm.
do things online. It took me a little bit of time to get myself together for it, to my satisfaction, because I'm a neurotic fucking control freak. But once I was satisfied with my own work, I started participating in that, and it's been pretty satisfactory. It's felt good. I've been doing well. Okay, so regular live shows are me and some instruments and a MacBook Pro processing a lot of video and lighting cues and things like that. I have integrated DMX lighting and video projection mapping, back there.
Good
And
stuff.
probably that fan sound you may or may not be hearing is the projector directly behind the Mac.
I
Anyway,
thought that
so
was your new remix.
that's the live show that I started with. And then with not having to be in a place and cart my shit and set it up and tear it down and
Mm.
you know what I mean, I can just set things up and do them. So I've been able to get more complex and
Oh,
take advantage of that. Multiple camera angles, affected video, and do online performances that leverage that ability to set up and test and slap in some B-roll here and there. And
that's pretty
I
great.
yeah,
'Cause, like,
I hope so. I'm pretty satisfied with it.
I uh, I remember, like, when you did the control shift shows, or the caustic stuff, you would always set up something of a space station, pardon the pun, and now that you don't have to tear down and move that thing around.
Yeah. Every time I do stuff, as I get older, especially, my theme song seems to be I need lighter hobbies. So, yes.
That might have been the best facial expression we've ever had on the couch. So, thank you for that. The Any upcoming gigs you can tell us about?
I'm sorry.
Any upcoming cyber gigs we need to know about?
Yeah. Hello, lights. Yeah. So the next one is Dark Energy on the 20th. It's been postponed a number of times, but it's Chris Baja and Mutant and me, and it's gonna be good times. The Dark Energy crew is the live events crew that me and David Daydodge, and it's all work for normally in the pre-COVID world, and hopefully in the post-COVID world. And Grant, it's run by Grant Mayland, and during COVID, it's been Hal that's been doing all the video and technical stuff. And anyway, so they put together some really amazing. Just their streams are some of the best.
Okay.
Their streams,
Where do we catch those?
Any other way.
Just
Some of
Dark
the best,
Energy
like,
on Twitch or something?
Yeah, well, like they'll incorporate streaming video or video files from people all over the globe and make it super seamless.
Oh, wow.
Real-time effects over everything, kind of like what you're doing here, really. I mean, you got your couch, you got your dude, you got your frame, you got your logos, you got, it's a production. It's well done, So it's kind of in that same sort of I have production values format, So
Well,
I'm proud of how they transitioned.
we got ENDIF on this episode, so I had to step it up a bit. But let's check. David Christensen of Cervello seconds your opinion. And I'm sorry, I might have talked over you. Where do we catch the Dark Energy shows?
Yeah, sorry, I've been rambling. Dark Energy is the live events crew that I work with here, and it's also the next gig.
Right, but toss out a URL for us.
Oh, it's gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But if you
find
go
it
to my wall on the Facebooks and find my header pick, you'll find it all there.
Awesome, and that's quote unquote in Minneapolis. Like, you can watch it from anywhere in the world, but
virtually and really, yeah.
All right, well, if the mighty ENDIF and Squarewave produces it, I'll definitely check that out. And
that was actually the last one I did was with Squarewave.
Oh, nice.
And they've done an amazing show too. I love their production values, and it's nice to see people enjoying the stuff that we make. Especially the stuff that we all used to make in the mid 2000s. That whole power noise tip hard techno kind of. it's nice to see that it has not disappeared from the earth.
It has
So,
not. I feel like it
not at
might be
all.
on the
It's a lot of people.
what's that? Go-
It has not at all disappeared. They get a lot of people,
Oh,
and I'm
awesome. Okay.
really encouraged to see how many people enjoy that stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Like, is that the next like thing you think, like a resurgence of that, or who
Um,
knows?
I don't know. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with techno people here in Minneapolis because we're basically kind of mini Detroit, as it
Okay.
were.
Huh.
And like a lot of techno here, like
Okay.
a lot. Probably half the gigs that I've done here have been with the techno people and
Very
whatnot.
cool.
So they also seem to enjoy me, but also that same sort of like techno crossover EBM stuff, like Schnokelgelb or whatever, or Maidon, that whole Atomex kind of thing. And then they also seem to really enjoy when they find it, like stuff like Hands or Ant Zen, you know. So
Awesome. Very cool.
yeah, it's kind of cool seeing the techno kids and the industrial kids all up into each other's stuff again.
That's really great. Oh, David tosses out for those of you just listening, twitch.tv/dark energy MPLS.
I'm glad
You want
someone's prepared.
you yes, you want to check that URL for upcoming shows from our guest ENDIF. Um, so in this cyber world, we're branching off into TV shows and podcasts and live shows. Let's design the ENDIF video game, or perhaps some sort of offshoot or tangent thereof. Like where would you start the ENDIF video game?
Oh God. It'd have to be generative. It'd have to be.
It's just different every time you play it.
Phase.
What's that?
It'd have to be. It'd have to be something in VR. It would have to
Okay.
be something with far too much technology behind it. It would have to be something that changed on you at a moment's notice. Here's a groove. Here's a theme. Oopsie. You know, another 10. Basically, it'd have to be ADHD in a video game.
Okay. Can you get the live performance white hazmat suit and like upgrade that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, cool. And
You have to pay for the upgrade and the downloadable content. You can do that.
okay, you can get the armor suit from the cover of Meta.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ferraro says roguelike. Yeah. Totally. Like you could put together like these giant like blocks, like kind of like a Cubert thing, but like it's always shifting and or it's not even that. It would be like I thought I was playing Cubert and now it's Grand Theft Auto. What happened? That would
I like it.
good stuff. With a in a very early description of ENDIF, I think pre-first album, you described the hard electronic sound as spiky and black, and that always stuck with me for some reason because I thought that was so evocative. So yeah, we got to get some like dope sea urchin armor in the ENDIF video game, I think.
I'd play that.
Awesome. So, very cool. This is a question I've been playing with for some guests, and I've gotten some interesting answers. If you could just in this Netflixy, Amazon Prime-y, millions of shows world, if you could have a biopic made of anybody, who would that be?
Karl-Heinz Stockhausen.
Yes, good call. Oh man, I would watch the shit out of that.
There probably is one. I don't know. Honestly,
I mean, I'll search for one now. Correct us if there is one, but that always seemed to be like all I know is like he exists, and I know what his music sounds like. What's that?
Or does he?
Right? I mean, that's part of it. Like he doesn't have a band name or anything. It's just Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, and this just insanity coming out of...
Gesundheit.
What's that?
I said Gesundheit.
Yeah. Very good. That was a perfect answer. If you could back into the realm of fantasy, if you could do like any piece of like merch, like what would it be? Like ENDIF bolt cutters or like manual control breaker switches?
That's a solid idea. I may actually have to do that.
All right.
I suppose some sort of man-portable. Let's just be ridiculous and say a device that fits into your pocket that you could turn on and it would create a holographic experience with music and lights and hopefully zero gravity.
Hell yeah! Everyone gets their own R2-D2 and it shoots out the Princess Leia. Yeah. Help me, Jason Hollis. You're my only hope. Like,
yes, that's what I'm going for.
Fantastic! We car crashed.
Cartridge based.
What might that cartridge look like? Astros. Fantastic. I love it. I want to circle back to Falling into the Sky real quick for those of you just joining us. You have always been rather gear-y, although you were the guy that got me started in big boy software, I will have you know.
Oh, that's right. You said, I think I gave you your first copy of Vanguard or something.
Yeah. I was using a Yamaha QI10 up until that.
Yeah.
But
back when I was a naughty little boy.
And so naughty.
Respect copyright as much as I should.
Yes, well, it led to legit purchases. I now have many licenses and manuals and boxes.
All the licenses.
All of them. Yeah. Yeah, I think all of them. I think I'm fully legit. But
feels good then.
It's oh god, like I get it. For the majority of people watching this show, pretty much everybody makes electronic music. No judgment from me personally. But if you get the means, it's really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, big difference. But yeah, you feel better. And you're supporting the people that made the tools that.
And if it breaks, you can get support.
Yeah.
And a Windows update isn't going to shatter your life.
That's the other thing. Most of that stuff is if it's cracked, it's probably also a Trojan. So whether it actually affects your life negatively or not. Probably been owned if you have a cracked piece of software.
Well, speaking of all this gear, in 12 years, like what might have changed for you gear or hardware-wise from Carbon to Falling into the Sky?
So, fun fact, most of Meta and almost all of Carbon was made in Fruity Loops.
Okay, really?
So I do a lot of stuff on hardware, and I'd record it and I'd chop it in, what was it, Cool Edit Pro, I guess?
Yeah! And, Peter Quisgard for life. That one I still pirate.
Cool Edit Pro / Audition. Actually almost all those tracks were done in Fruit. So, whereas pretty much everything on Falling into the Sky, except for the thing in 1999, which is the track City, which was done in Digital Performer. Everything else was done in Ableton.
Okay.
So I, as opposed to a linear timeline with a bunch of chiclets on it, you've got a proper DAW and complex automation and things like that. So, which is kind of why I selected the title in the first place, other than it sort of being one of my favorite hallucinations. It's also kind of the phenomenon of having far too many fucking options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really why I named it, because that's basically what happened when I discovered Ableton was, instead of being limited to this linear thing, suddenly I can do whatever I fucking want. And so I did, and it got slightly ridiculous.
Interesting.
That's part of why it took fucking long.
Well, Uh, it definitely sounds like it was a long time in the barrel because it is very choice. If you're not familiar, at least uh you can trick Fruity Loops out many different ways, but the default sort of boilerplate that comes up when you legitimately buy the program is a bunch of triggers or chiclets, as you say, which is hilarious, and you can slot uh, sounds into these chiclets by default. This is very general. Um,
Oh, it's now. Honestly I haven't even looked at it.
uh,
I still have the license because I bought it back in the day, but like, and
but
finally they made a Mac version allegedly, but
but
yeah, I haven't played
the
with it forever.
Ableton Live is a lot more free-formy, floaty, open.
Oh yeah.
Um, that is does that interface? I mean, I know you kind of answered this question, but in terms of the learning curve and the title, but even in musicality, do you find the interface influencing the song? Like the quicker I
Oh
can
yeah.
get to.
The tools always influence what you do with them, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Part of why some people love hardware so much, it's
Yeah.
all interface. But yeah, so I feel like it really does change how you work quite a bit. In this case and in this context, it was definitely much more of a allowed me to get a lot more abstract, a lot more. But so yeah, I think it really does make a difference. And
Very cool.
actually, recently I started learning Touch Designer, which if we go from Fruit to Ableton to to Touch Designer is basically for audio and video for any kind of media. It's literally modular, and
Hmm.
you can get code if you want to, but it's basically literally like this monstrosity. You plug things into other things and loop them
Man,
back
you
into.
are you are going full lawnmower man.
You
Just
can
like
even super back here. So
very cool. Very cool. I'm looking forward to what may come of that. Well, with all this talk of evolution, if you want to get highfalutin, uh, if you could like go back in time, and what advice would you give to a burgeoning musician, Jason Hollis? Like you're just
right.
working on like Ashes or something. What do you know now you wish you would have known then?
uh, don't marry that first girl. That's what I know. Sorry. No. But seriously though, I suppose I would probably focus more on. I don't know, man.
Hmm.
I think I would probably just do more of it, you know,
Interesting. So
as
it's
opposed to doing anything else.
well, I mean that's a completely legit answer because to me it belies this constant evolution. Like I might uh, go back in time and like tell my younger self to like just roll everything off past 40 hertz. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But
great
maybe a
advice.
year from now I discover that in my 2020 self, like that's a bad idea and there's some cool stuff I could get out of having a complete low end bass. There's not, but maybe like so I really enjoy that answer. Um, although you just roll off everything. That's if you take it.
Frequency is for the weak. You don't need sound waves. Just bare, blank, static,
Yeah, just
white
basic.
noise.
Just crank up that projector fan and sample the shit out of it.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Is it
I,
as loud as all that?
no, no.
No.
I was doing a. This story is fresh in my mind. This is I sort of took another cue from you, and am calling this weekend my virtual tour. This is stop 5 of 5 for me. Stop 1 was another podcast called Art of Digging with Corey from Self-Implied Restrictions and erstwhile Ammonia. Um, and so this story is fresh in my mind. Just speaking of that, like I had the coffee machine was broken and just
Mhm.
making these gnarly noises, and my fiance came out and legit asked me if I was working on a remix.
You know,
And
you
then she
know,
fixed the coffee maker. So I was like, it was a pretty awesome time. Um, but I mean, I know a lot of your virtual tour got like moved back, but are you are you looking forward to the seeing the people again, or are you sort of
oh, yeah.
settling into?
No, I'm pretty introverted
Mhm.
typically, and I honestly I could do this whole social isolation thing as long as I'm being paid for it
Hmm.
via employment, uh, more or less forever. But I
Hmm.
am looking forward to going out into the world, back into the world, and
Hmm.
doing all the things we used to do. You
Such
know,
as it is. I mean,
it, it is a different animal, and I can sort of feel myself becoming a little bit compressed.
mm.
You know, I'm definitely losing some bandwidth. But
In Minneapolis, do you think that's, I mean, with like a scorched out auto zone or whatever, do you think that's coming anytime soon?
um, so by profession, I'm an audio visual technician for a very large AV company, and we got furloughed in March,
Mm.
and they're they were hinting that we were going to come back in June, but obviously that hasn't occurred. And right now we still have 4 things booked for July.
Oh,
So
cool.
in theory, the plan is that we'll be coming back in July.
Awesome.
So
Awesome, man.
I'm not wrapping things up per se, but I
Hmm.
am like, being careful about planning beyond July 1st or
Hmm.
whatever, just because I want to make sure that I'm not shooting myself in the foot.
Uh,
But yeah, so I think that we'll probably see things start to open up in July.
okay, very cool. That I would love to see that happen.
Okay.
Um, just something that came to me now. Speaking of the synthetic show versus the physical world, and you now running a label, uh, is Manual Control doing physical releases, or are you in the digital realm?
Um, with ENDIF, it's not normal music for normal people.
Hmm.
So I've always accepted that the release, demographic is going to be like this compared to something else. Whereas with basically with that one, I'm going to wait and see
Mm.
if I feel like basically if I make enough from the digital sales, I'll throw that money at a small physical release and
Oh,
see
cool.
if it keeps going. And if it does, sweet, we'll just keep going with that. And if it
Mm.
doesn't, that's cool. I get it. There's only so many brain damaged weirdos out there that enjoy this stuff. So, uh,
Yeah.
well, I get it. But with other stuff, all of the rest of it is much more accessible.
Mm.
So the Red Hour is uh, not entirely dance music oriented, but there's a strong dance music component, especially with Cracks, which
Mm.
is the single that you probably heard little snippets of before. And if you go to the page for that project, you'll hear other little leaks. And then after that, Retcon is
Mm.
probably our next release,
Oh, awesome.
and that's a retro industrial project.
Love those
Basically,
guys.
uh, imagine if 1987 never ended. Uh,
Where do I
so
sign?
yeah, right. So that's basically the shtick for that. And then False Shadows is really depressing synth pop.
Hey,
Also,
sign me up. I love it.
like just I some of this stuff I can't even like sing the pieces
Really?
because they're just about all the depressing shit that I've gone through ever, but especially recently. So
So it's
yeah, it'll be super fun. You'll
it's
get
you.
to
Is it like is Redcon Red Hour and the sad synth pop thing? Is that all you or are these different guys?
So the Red Hour is Brooke as the front person,
Uh-huh.
narrative and the singing,
Mm-hmm.
and then direction with the music. But I do all the programming for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that'll be the first thing that we put out after the end of album dies down a little bit, or after we finish it up, whichever comes first. And then the other two are just me. And
Okay,
then from
very
there,
cool.
we'll see what we pull up. I mean, we do have a guy that does our mastering, Michael Deedle. He is probably one of the best industrial musicians you've never heard of.
Okay.
Um, he, uh, he he did Anodally, basically Belladonna
Oh yeah, hell
backwards.
yeah.
Okay, so Yeah, so from the '90s onward, and does stuff under Profi, and he did the mastering for Manual Control and or for the Red Hour and for Falling into the Sky, and he has a bunch of stuff, and I'm hoping we can convince him to let us put some of it out.
Very
So,
cool. Want to give
so
a
that would
quick
probably be the
shout out.
first non-us thing,
Oh,
hopefully.
great. Well, I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, we played with them in Caustic at Ground Zero 5 billion years ago. Uh,
With, yeah, really?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. Uh, Shout out to Bitman is in the chat room on new single out today on Tiger Squawk. Are you back in the remix game at all? I know you did some stuff
I'm sorry.
prior.
Your audio's been breaking up for me the whole
Oh, sorry.
time. It sounds like you have a square wave on it. So if I make funny faces or can't understand what you're saying
Okay.
sometimes,
Yeah.
literally subtracting the square wave from and reconstructing what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I got a bit of a weird. I'm experimenting with a weird setup, so that is 100% on my end. But
It could be
David,
me.
what I know you were in the remix game for a while. Are you looking at that
Um,
at all?
a couple of people have talked to me recently, and basically I have only so much brain width, and most of that got sucked up by the last week of
Mm-hmm.
whatever the fuck that was,
Yeah.
and so yeah, that'll probably be happening once that all stabilizes. But for now, I'm like stoked that I can manage this.
Mm.
You know.
I just wanted to ask, like, philosophically, do you have an approach to a remix? Like, do you tend to lock in on a part or something like that?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, hope I prefer to not have heard the song
Really?
prior. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll take and listen to each track individually because usually you get zero to end files that you slap into a
Mm-hmm.
timeline and make the original song, or as much of it as they give you. So I'll go through and I'll listen to the vocals or the beat or whatever separately, individually, needle drop through that and let that tell me how to proceed and go from there. Like if I can help it, I prefer not to have heard the original song.
Very cool.
And
So you get
then once it forms, once I decide where I'm going to take it, maybe I'll go listen to it.
very cool. Yeah, you're definitely gonna end up with a new Frankenstein after that, right? Not
Well, I
just.
figure if people are coming to me, they probably want bad things done to it. So
The track's been very bad and now has to go into timeout with the with so um you had mentioned some other projects. Uh, what might be the next step for the mighty ENDIF specifically?
as a project unto itself,
Yeah.
I actually uh, Squarewave
Hmm.
Productions, they've been doing their broadcasts, their streams, and that whole thing that we just talked about, that whole conversation,
Hmm.
has reminded me of how much fun it was to make straight up power noise slash
Mm.
techno structured things that are really nasty. And so if I do any more ENDIF, it'll probably be along those lines because that's
Oh
the
yeah.
thing I've been doing of late. That um, you do you do whatever you do, and you put it into little boxes, and it would make sense to fold that stuff back into ENDIF. So it could be that the next ENDIF album, instead of being woo abstract shit, might be more along those.
Well, I do love the woo abstract shit. It's been pretty great. Uh uh yeah. Like all right, so we have Michael Lovering posting his Bandcamp into the chat. The No, but it's pretty awesome. Like it's very intricate, and you should check it out if you like not knowing where a track is going necessarily. I mean, it's not like some like crazy chaos. I mean, there's definitely like that ENDIF sound, but it is a very
There's
controlled.
always structure, but it's always very abstracted. So
Mm.
like if fans of download,
Mm.
uh, it's same sort of idea. Here's a groove. Here's a groove. Oh, it went this way. You know. So
And let
uh,
us not.
taking the same sort of idea and really just running with it.
Mm.
So like instead of having a melodic line, I'll take the same tonality and embed it in the percussion or the whatever. So things get really abstracted. Like
Cool,
there's
man.
actual melodies and stuff, but they're usually in the noise or
Mm.
in the percussion or whatever. So
Yeah, download is very good. Like that's a very good comparison to make. The and that video is that uh, when that comes out, like, is that you constructing it, or was that from some other
oh,
party?
the one that you played earlier,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
snippet for One Trick Pony. Yeah, no, I do all my own video
Oh,
stuff.
that's so good. It's
So
really good, man.
that one is basically I created an effects loop of feedback and warping and false colors and some other fucking shit, and made it all sound reactive. And then I just played the track and jammed out in front of the camera and let the sound and the algorithms that I'd set up um, mutate the video that it was
Is that
capturing
what
off
it
of me.
is? Cause
That's all it was. I
I've
was in
had the
my
chance
basement
to.
in my code, so.
I talked over you again. I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, so yeah, I was literally in the basement of my house in St. Paul, and the camera was this very laptop was pointing up at me and
Uh,
recording me just jamming out. But that and masking of other images and video, you wind up with that. So.
well. I've had the chance to see the whole thing, and it's wild to me you say that because you can kind of pluck a narrative out of it if you
Kind of.
want. But that it's semi-machine generated is like that's some Black Mirror shit. Like that's pretty awesome. Um, and very, I would say, on brand for ENDIF. Um, Jason, we are on this rogue flight path out here in space, and it's costing trillions of American dollars to
I have
beam this.
talking. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
expensive.
like we're going from. We have a satellite base in Boston, Massachusetts, that's also beaming the signal over to you in Minneapolis. But then it shoots it right past the Oort cloud into like Alpha Centauri here. I haven't really figured out canonically where the space cout's used in the universe, because it lives in your heart. But so the point of all that is we're going to be bringing this back into the station. Do you have any final thoughts for the space couchketeers out there?
Um, no, not really. I would like to try one little experiment though
Yeah,
before we go.
let's do it.
So I don't know how your 2020's been going, but mine's been a little weird. So I'm gonna try and fix that real quick. I'm gonna try and go on the cassette real quick. And put
Oh,
it back in if I can't get it to
yeah!
restart.
Ladies
So
and gentlemen, we're going to fix 2020 right now.
I hope we'll see. See if I can do this correctly. It's been a while since I tried, but so let me know how this goes, guys.
Okay.
I can't guarantee that it'll work, but hopefully 2020 will unfuck itself real quick.
The copper might be oxidized beyond repair, but
Yeah, it might. You can crack these open and file down the copper a little bit if you're careful. Use like a matchbook. So,
but we have officially blown.
It works.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, it's feeling pretty good. I
Things.
think ENDIF might have just fixed 2020 right here on Space Couch by blowing into the cartridge. This is that's going on the highlight reel for Space Couch, man. I love it. So, thank you for fixing the year. Thank you for the new album. You want to check out Falling into the Sky on manual control at endif.bandcamp.com. And I'm assuming the internet at large. Don't steal it, but get it on Bandcamp. Check out future releases from Manual Control. You want to look for Red Hour Retcon and what's up?
If I can ever, yeah, False Shadows. If I can ever finish
False
recording those
Shadows. That is all coming up, although Falling into the Sky is out now. So, this is Brian for Joseph. Brian for Jason.
I'll accept it. I'll take it.
For Space Couch, for ENDIF, for Jason, for Brian Grub Couch, saying, call these spaceships to Davenport. Interface with a couch in space and prepare for Divanarchy. This is what's that?
Oh, I'm turning it on, so I hope it works.
All right, here we go. We're gonna turn it on. You guys, let us in the comments know if your year goes better. Okay, Space Couch out. Bye.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's already working, isn't it?
The background's a little more crisp. So yeah, and